strange problem in Agnes Water, and that is the letterboxes. So if you live in town, I don't know why, but apparently the footpaths are not quite wide enough for each house to have its own letterbox. So
Which isn't correct. They're about twice the size of what you might see in Brisbane, but that's the story.
I don't know. But anyway, that means that if you live in town, you can do one of two things. You can either, one, get yourself a post office box and go collect your mail, or two, you have to walk in there to the post office and then you have to ask for your mail. And the lovely thing about this is that this is the kind of country feel that I think our grandparents experienced. This is a little glimpse as to something that has been lost, And so when I go in, and we don't live in town now, so we get our mail collected because we're out of town. We're only a little way out of town. It only takes us, 5 minutes to get into work still.
Drive, yeah.
So anyway, so when you're living in town and you have to go in and get your mail, everybody, they know your name. How are you going today? How are the children? And you know their name. And you ask them how they are. And it's just such a lovely small town feel where we know people. And that might be something that turns you off. Maybe you don't like that idea. But how do you find it as a doctor? Being in a small town, it is a small town. You do see people that you know, don't you? You see your patients.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've worked in small towns, but not as small as this before, and you see your patients in the street and there's always this awkwardness sometimes, but I've never ever felt that here. And I think the reason for that is it is small enough that the patients are also aware of you needing your personal space. And I mean, they love stopping, they talk to you, they're always double checking you, they're always asking, are you getting away from work? Have you gone fishing? How's the family? I've never ever had a clinical discussion in the street. I've never had to awkwardly say, book an appointment, let's talk about that next week. They've never gone there. And, to the point of there's some, times where you've seen a patient that very day and you're worried for them and you see them in the street and they will quite happily have a conversation about how you're going. And so it's really an eye-opener to realise that in the busyness of a consult, it's in and out, it's all about the patient. In the busyness of the market, they're more interested in what you are as a person and how you're doing. And I think it's great. I was always concerned about going, oh, great, small town, people are going to see me and going to want to know the results. I've never once, and I can say that honestly, I've never once had to discuss a clinical case in the shopping centre. And that's not because I've had to put up boundaries. It's because the community have put their own boundaries up. They understand, I guess, some of the nuances that we assume that only us doctors know. I think the patients really see that, and they really take it to heart. Not so much in that sense, but there's other patients who you'll find out on a Monday morning that they didn't bother bothering you on the weekend because they wanted you to have your time off. And it's frustrating because you say, why didn't you call me? I would have helped you. But again, they have decided themselves to travel to see another doctor on your time off or on your weekends. And that's really endearing to see that the community have your back. Again, I guess we all have patients who like to bring us things, no matter where you are. That's not a small country town thing. But certainly there's a very strong desire of that calibre. If they think you've got an interest or they think you've got a need, they will certainly be pushing to support you.
Yeah, that is lovely. Yeah.